I'll jot everything down and I'll ask you at the end. Wouldn't it be great to know that that's the kind of personality you're dealing with from the very beginning of the presentation? It's a tremendous value. There's lots of people with lots of money that are not leaders. They've been prudent with the way they've invested. They've listened to good, experienced people to tell them how to do it, and they've made their money. So I would hold back the prices as long as I possibly could. And if anybody thinks you couldn't do it, I'm welcome to come to any appointment you'd like me to do it on for you. Because I'm a firm believer, if you don't have control, the minute you give up control as a representative, the game's over. You may as well go to the next one. Because he thinks he can drag you around. And from some of the stories that I've heard about the relationship with some prospects, as in comparison with the representative that's dealing with them, I think some of these clients are dragging some guys around from some of the responses I've heard, where you could qualify them much better and clean them out. See, I'm a big believer in self-respect. You have to have 100% self-respect when you're out as a salesman. I'm not going to take any lies. I'm not going to take any changing of answers. I'm going to respect you. You're going to have to respect me. And self-respect will make you, when somebody's lying to you, do you know they're lying to you? It's pretty clear when somebody starts lying. You want to know body language? Their eyes start going everywhere. That's body language of a liar. Now there's specific motions of the eyes and the way they go where you can get even more defined of what people are thinking. But body language is one. I would say the guy who asks for the price most likely can't afford it. Huh?
The customer.
Right. He can't afford it. And he knows ahead of time he can't afford it, so I'd like to know that right off the bat. So if I put him off and he keeps pushing me for the price, really the answer would be, have you priced any MRIs yet? Because he has. He's priced them. So now he tells you, oh yeah, I had this one out, they were $800, this one out, they were $900. They're that much for what they offer? Oh, I got something much better than that. And you know what? I have all the proof right here with me. Let's get into it. Would you like to see it? Great. And now we go through the questionnaire like we were talking about, and the feature benefit presentation, and presenting the price, and then actually giving the investment to the person, and laying it out perfectly for them to decide.
Has not sold.
Yeah.
The features and benefits, price doesn't matter.
That's right. They don't know what they're buying.
And if he sold it, then the feature and benefit, the price doesn't matter also.
Right. But the problem between those two is a lot of guys are great at doing the feature and benefit and can't ask for the order, or have problems asking for the order.
That's the art of a salesman.
That's right. And I believe the setup removes that as a problem, because I believe one of the big problems in closing is a confidence level in the product itself. So in other words, if you don't have the answer to everything that you feel you need the answer to, and you go out and try to do a presentation for people, your lack of your own confidence plays out very easily to a prospect. And people don't think it does, but it does. The reason we don't think as salesmen it does that is because we don't want to accept it. You go out and want to buy something. Call a salesman for anything. You know the ones that make you comfortable and the ones that don't make you comfortable, and the ones that don't have the answers do not make you comfortable. So you have to be very well skilled, but like I think we've kind of started to think about, I don't think the MRI is the sale. Like we keep saying, the investment is the sale. Yes?
I'm just going to share this not because of just talking about what you just said, but I really felt good about this, and I just want to share it with everybody. And they know me long enough so I can say this. But I got a call the other day from somebody I saw at the RSNA in 2006, which is now over a year, year and 3 months or so. And she's a radiologist, and she said she didn't make the show in 2007. But she's talking to a group of chiropractors that she reads for right now. And they were talking about getting a new MRI, and they didn't talk anything about the upright at all. And they're chiropractors, which are primarily
Right, yeah, right.
So the radiologist said to them, have you considered the upright MRI? And they said, we don't really know about the upright MRI. Can you get us some information? And she said, not only do I know about the upright MRI and I'm confident about the product, but I'm very confident about the salesperson that I spoke to when I met him, over a year ago.
That's right.
And she shared that with me in the conversation, and I just wanted to share that with everybody because
it sticks with people. Absolutely, absolutely.
It's really a personal thing.
You can't buy that. I mean, building rapport, if you're good at building rapport, you cannot buy that. I mean, it's incredible. The difference in how somebody will remember. I'm surprised how people remember my name. I run into them a couple years later, and they remember your name. I mean, if you're projecting everything that way, I really believe you attract what you project, is really the way the world works, in my opinion. So a salesman who's not screaming and getting the word out is really hurting themselves because they're not getting a chance to actually hit on such a big part of relationship building. As a matter of fact, I've been reading a little bit about quantum physics, believe it or not. I've taken it up because I find it so interesting. And there was a quote by one of these physicists who I know is fairly well known. I don't particularly know him myself. But I want to read you what he says. His name is Erwin Schrödinger. Everybody know who that is? Okay, good. As long as everybody knows who it is. If you cannot in the long run tell everyone what you have been doing, your doing has been worthless. Go down to the patent office in Sterling, Virginia, or wherever it is down there, and look at how many patents are just sitting there that never went to anything. Nobody ever ended up doing anything with those patents. There's stacks of them, shelves of them. What good was it? It doesn't make any difference how great what you had was if it sat on the workbench. But the minute you put the word out, and you get the word out to people and you start telling them, the energy that you'll build by your own personality and your own excitement in what you're doing is what brings the prospect the excitement. Let me ask a really interesting question. I know the answer to it. Who here could go see prospects all day long and talk them all out of buying your product? Everybody could, right? We would have to develop a program to talk everybody out of it. I believe the flip is exactly the same. You just have to make a reasonable argument. And the one factor is they must be qualified, or be able to be qualified as part of a group. But the minute they're qualified, you have made such gigantic steps forward, because everybody that you propose, especially if you did it as cold calling and then use that software that the company's getting, for that woman maybe would have been hit with something 4 or 5 times in that year and a quarter. So if they have that and your personality was what started the relationship, I tell you what, more and more people are putting their picture when they put their card up, for example, on the web. And I think it is, like Dr. Damadian said, you can use electronic marketing now, and they know exactly who you are because now they remember seeing you. And you can add all of that into any documents we would use through the CRM software. So your opening, I think more than anything, is this meeting, if we can come away with something, and we're going to come away with a lot more, is that the opening is where you need to focus now. Period. We need to open as many doors as we can to double, triple, quadruple the sales and build. We can create the tipping point. We don't have to wait for somebody else to do it. We can do it ourselves. The buzz in your own territory, start with a small area and get everybody in that area to know it. Ask everybody in that area that you're prospecting to who they know in another territory, who might be interested to get together in their group. If you go out there as excited as you should be with this, I think the excitement's going to be built. Will you run into people that are fools? Yeah, there's a lot of people that can tell you all the investments they missed. And I missed some myself. Everybody's missed some where somebody came and showed it to us, and we had every reason why not to believe it. We didn't do it, and we're crying about it later. This has much bigger credibility than that.
You have to want to sell.
Yeah, you really do have to want. I mean, if you don't like selling, it's a you know, I had a manager who said it's the best paying hard job and the worst paying easy job. That's what sales is. If you're willing to go do the work and do the legwork, look, I know a lot of salesmen